campaign seems to be going fantastically well, and actually our team thinks it's better than what it was 5 years ago. 5 years ago, there was, I had just left the BBC, and there was a lot of interest in me as well and in the party that we started. But at the moment, we are reaching out to real voters. And you must have followed on social media that we are having lots of group meetings and town hall meetings, and then party palace meetings, and everywhere there is a lot of enthusiasm, there is a lot of positive vibes coming out of it, and they are really supporting us, and they are determined that this time around, last time it couldn't happen, this time around we have to make you win. That is the message that we are getting. Some people are questioning about my, change of party, meaning joining the Rashtriya Prajatantra Party. But what they basically are saying is, wherever you go, we know that you are a good person, you are a person of high integrity, and they also say that, I'm competent and I'm educated and I'm probably one of the best candidates to be in the parliament. That's why wherever you go, that is the message. Actually, I was reading the message, the comments in my recent interviews, and that is the feeling that I'm getting, and people are saying that whatever party you join, you have to be in the parliament. So that is a kind of reassuring message for me. I would be very thankful to them, and it is their generosity. And one thing I have tried to maintain in my public life is integrity, and that is where I stand and how I can speak with confidence, and with all the energy and with all the positivity, because looking back at my life, I think throughout I have tried to maintain that part of integrity in my whole career. There was a time when we strongly criticized the Panchayat regime, and the Panchayat collapsed. After that, it's been 33 years. We are in multi-party democracy, initially with constitutional monarchy, and after we have become a republic. But has the character of the politics changed? It hasn't changed at all. The corruption is very high, the embezzlement is very high, the cronyism is very high, and we have become one of the most corrupt societies in the world, most unethical society in the world as well. Because we are most corrupt, we are naturally unethical as well, and the institutions have deteriorated to a level that none of the institutions are beyond politics. All the major institutions of the country, including the judiciary, including the bureaucracy, including the president's office, has been politicized, and that is a terrible state. Internally, our institutions are weak. Internally, the ethnic sensitivity, the religious sensitivity has increased a lot, and externally, the geopolitics of the world has changed, and it has shifted to South Asia. That is the reason when American General Flynn came to Kathmandu, he said Nepal has become a land power. He didn't say because we are actually powerful. He said it because of the crucial positioning of Nepal within the two superpowers of the world. Similarly, the Indian, security expert came and he said Nepal has become a flashpoint in the changing global order. So, the sensitivity of geopolitics, the sensitivity of the internal state machinery, the sensitivity of the society has become more and more vulnerable, and in this kind of situation, I think the whole politics, the nature of politics will have to change. first thing, is there any reason why youths, and the population of which is around 70%, under 40, Nepal's demography is like, the youths, they are nearly around 70%. Nepal's 50% of the population is under 25. And is there any reason why they should take interest in politics? They would take interest in politics if they could have good education in this country. They would take interest in politics if they could go to good educational institutions and think about good job opportunities in Nepal. Can they do that? They can't. That's why their whole dream about their future is focused in some other developed countries and not Nepal. You see, that is such a sad situation where youths are in majority in Nepal, but all the youths, virtually all the youths, exceptions apart, they don't think about their future in Nepal. They think about their future somewhere else in a developed country in the world. Maybe in the Gulf, in the Far East, in Europe, in Australia, in America. That is where their dream is focused on, not in Nepal. So, the whole idea of my politics is we have to, we have to improve the quality of the public education in Nepal, which is attended by nearly 80% of the students. Once you improve the quality of public education, that is when youths become creative, youths become, confident, youths can create jobs for themselves, and youths can think about their future in Nepal. At the moment, the public education of Nepal is so bad that you can't even imagine. 70% of the students who, do their SEE exams and previously used to do their SLC, they basically fail. They get so low grade that they can't market themselves anywhere, not only in Nepal, even in the world. So, when in that kind of circumstances, when the job opportunities are so less and the income level is, very, very minimal, obviously youths tend to leave this country, go out of the country and take less interest about politics in Nepal because they aren't getting anything unless they are directly connected to some political party or to some politicians. So, unless and until you drastically improve the quality of public education, youths aren't going to stay in this country, first thing. Second thing, has the state done anything to create jobs for youths who want to work in Nepal? Almost probably 70% of the youths who come into the labor market don't get jobs in Nepal. Only 20, maybe 25%, 30% of them get, reasonably not maybe good job, but they get something to work in Nepal. So, unless and until the state focuses on creating jobs for youths, you can't, retain youths in this country. And if you have a leadership with high integrity, with competence, with exposure, with vision, it can be done. For example, would stop the state to attract the biggest IT companies in the world to come and work in Nepal? If bureaucracy is efficient and if you give them some tax incentives, world's top class IT companies, if they can go to India and then now they are shifting to Bangladesh as well and to many other countries, why can't they come to Nepal? There is geographical situation of the country or the landlockedness of the country isn't going to impact them coming to Nepal. this is a business which can be run from anywhere in the world. Why can't the state say, attract the top class hospitality institutes to Nepal? Now those hospitality institutes are many of them are in Switzerland, top class institute. Nepal is a tourist destination, and can't we attract those institutes to Nepal, or forget about those things and let's say the top class universities of the world. Many of the top class universities, Ivy League universities, have now university villages in Gulf countries, in UAE and in Qatar. Can't we think about making Nepal an educational hub of the world? Because in terms of weather, in terms of nature, in terms of hospitality of the people, and in terms of the cultural richness and all the heritage sites and all those things, it could be a great place. So there are lots of things that visionary leadership, honest leadership can do, and it can be done within 5 to 10 years. It doesn't take more to start these things, because the leadership is corrupt. They don't know what integrity is. They don't know what conflict of interest is. They are so self-centered, and they don't basically care about the country. One thing I have been saying repeatedly at the moment is, you can do so many things for yourself. You can be a journalist, you can be a business person, you can, write, and you can, lead your life the way you want. But if you want to do politics, let's think about making nation first. If the economic condition of the nation improves, if the politics of a country improves, then all the people living in the country will benefit. If the state of the country remains like ours or many other third world countries, only a small section of the population benefits and the rest of the population doesn't benefit, and they just try to get out of the country. They don't want to live in the country. That is what's happening with the youths. So one thing in this interview, I want to really appeal to the youths. What I want to appeal to the youths is that 50% of the population is under 25. Nearly 70% of the population is under 40, right? They can change this country if they take interest in politics, if they go and vote, and if they decide to choose the right candidate. So instead of just sitting on the computer and and blaming the politicians on social media, I want to appeal to youths to come out on the voting day, vote, choose the best candidate, forget about ethnicity, forget about region, forget about gender, forget about age. Doing ageist, sexist, regionalist, ethnic politics is really bad, and it's bad for especially youths, because they have their whole life in this country. We don't have it. People who are older than us don't have it, but they have a long life to live in this country. So forget about those things. Forget about who is young and who is old. Choose candidates who have high integrity, who are competent, who are well educated, who are visionary, who know the internal dynamics of the country, who know a bit of geopolitics, who know the economics of this nation, who can talk about development, who can talk about improving the quality of life of the youths and the entire population, who can talk about and actually implement the improvement of the education system in Nepal, the health system in Nepal, So choose the best candidate. Forget about from which background they come. Forget about their age, but choose the best. For example, when Joe Biden was running for the presidential election, in the presidential election, there were youths who were educated at Harvard and they were in their mid-30s. Did the Americans say that, oh, this guy is, young, so we need to vote for him, and this guy is old, we should reject him? No, it doesn't happen that way. In the UK, there have been prime ministers who have been in their mid-60s, and now there is a prime minister who is just 42. So age doesn't matter, ethnicity doesn't matter, gender doesn't matter, okay? The region doesn't matter. What matters is who can actually drive this country towards development and prosperity. That is what's important. I'm very clear on this. My agenda in this elections are divided into 4 sections. One is related to the long-term interest of the country, where, in Parliament you may have to work in foreign policy committee, or educational committee, or there are several committees. So those committees, and in the process of building the law, making the law, you think about the long-term interest of the country. The interest that could be on citizenship, that could be on foreign relations, that could be on economic development, that could be on creating jobs, that could be on creating opportunities for youths and all those things. So one section is related to the long-term interest of the country. Second section is related to the issues relating to constituency, Kathmandu constituency 1, from where I am standing for the elections. The issue of the water shortage, the issue of electricity, the issue of good roads and sewer system and all that, those kind of things, and there could be other issues as well. And then I have divided other 2 sections. One section is related to, which I said earlier, the long-term interest of the country. I have raised the issue of constitutional monarchy, the need of constitutional monarchy in this country, the need of repealing federalism and secularism. That is one section. And the other section is directly related to things which actually inspired me to get into politics. That is about corruption control, good governance and good service delivery. At the same time, quality, good and the quality public education and health service and the social security as well. So this kind of, I have 4 sections where I have raised this kind of issues in my manifesto. Obviously, after getting into Parliament, I will speak up about the issues directly related with public service, and I will speak up vigorously, and I will try to intervene and change policies and get things done. To my voters, this country has suffered a lot despite being a country with very high potential in every sense. I have been saying that this is a country which is a center of 2 major religions in the world: Christianity, Islam, Buddhism and Hinduism. Out of 4 major religions in the world, Nepal is the center of 2 major religions, Hinduism and Buddhism. Have we been able to market that to the world? We have not been able to do so. Newa culture and civilization is one of the most, Newa culture and civilization is one of the richest in the world. Have we been able to sell that to the world? We haven't been. In terms of heritage sites, we are one of the richest in the world. There are 7 World Heritage Sites in this small Kathmandu Valley. Culturally, in terms of civilization, in terms of religion, in terms of natural beauty, we are one of the richest in the world. and we have not been able to extract what we should have been able to do with all those, advantages that we have. So please try to choose being an independent voter without being colored by the Congresses or the communists. If you could be an independent voter and choose the best candidate, this country can seriously transform within 15 to 20 years, which has been done by lots of countries in the world. In 20 years' time, South Korea transformed a lot. China, brought nearly 1 billion population out of poverty in last 25-30 years. Bhutan is doing terribly well. Now Bangladesh is really surging up. It's doing very well, And there are lots of other countries which have done fantastically well in 15 to 20 years. And there is no reason, with a leadership which has integrity, vision, competency, and the understanding of this society and economics and politics of this country, why they can't do it. They can do it, and we are determined to do it. Please vote for us this time around. We will not betray you.